Hello, everybody. It's the Saints Man, small van driver on the 6. It's Saturday the 19th, just looking at my diary. Uh, yeah, doing it from the bedroom. It's Saturday afternoon, actually, at 20 to 2. Wife's in the lounge watching TV. I don't know what she's watching, but I thought I'd come and do this. Out of the way, a bit of peace. Got my magic book last week. Strange week, really strange week. God, it seemed hard. Did a lot of dead miles, which is not good, but I hit my target, which is good. I think I would have gone well over my target. I had a couple of days that were rubbish. Start with Monday, 14th. I hadn't got a job booked in, but got a job not too late. It was about 9:30. I think it was down to London, northwest 5 or something like that. North of London, anyway. And it was just taking a small item from Northampton down to London. It was going to a power plant, like a DIY, small DIY that hires plant out and tools and stuff. And yeah, I literally just took two shafts down that they needed. £75, which is more than a pound a mile, but you're going to London. It's all about time. We said before, when you go to London, you don't book on pence per mile, you book on how long you think it'll take you. It took me 2.5 hours and I got 75 quid for it. So it's about right, really, because you've got to get a job from London out then, which is a problem. And so it proved, because I went and parked at Brent Cross at Tesco and sat there, and jobs were going here, there, and everywhere. Didn't get a sniff, quoted on quite a few. Thought this was going to be a waste of a day, this. Then I did get a little job to St Albans. It was a village, actually, just outside St Albans, near Wheat Hampstead. In fact, it was a way up from St Albans, really. It was a village north of Wheat Hampstead. It was only about 5 miles short of Luton. Picked a job up, only 30 quid. It was 28 miles. So on the mileage, I got really good miles. I was over a pound a mile on the two jobs. And it was a beautiful village. I parked in, I think it was called Batford. Batford on a B road, and it was to deliver to there. It was to a dentist, and yeah, dropped that off. It was a scanner. Got 30 quid for that. It was only 28 miles. Put 30 quid on it. Picked it up, easy job, and sat there. And I thought, well, what do I do now? And I worked the mileage home out, and it weren't too bad. It was only about 40 odd miles home, going the back roads. So I thought, you know what, I could just knock this on the head today. I've only done 105 quid all in, which is rubbish. But I hadn't started early. I didn't start, I say, that early. And it was about 3, something like that. And I thought, you know what, I can have an early finish today, and we'll think about it tomorrow. Got a phone call from my mate Chris saying that he got. I phoned Chris up and he says, "I got one hit to Cardiff tomorrow. If you want that, you can take it early." And I thought, "Yep, that sounds like a plan." So I went home. I was home by 3, and that was poodling along. I only did 150 miles, £105. I got 70p a mile roughly. So hey, and that was with the dead miles home. So although it was only 105 quid, it was good pence per mile. It was my worst day. And Monday is becoming pretty much standard. Trying to get a job in the morning, and I don't really want to be out late at the minute. So, as in staying out, I weren't fussed about going to Scotland or anything like that. There's not enough work to get back, so it's a matter of no. Anyway, I picked the load up anyway in Northampton for Cardiff. It was 20 boxes for the next morning, so I knew I was going to get an early start, which I did. So that was Monday. Tuesday, I started at 6:15. Got to Cardiff. I was in Cardiff by 9 o'clock, 8:45, 9 o'clock, something like that. Probably a bit later, just after 9. 110 for that one. It's a standard price that Chris charges, and he's happy with it. I'm okay with it. It's although the fuel's gone up, I've kept the price the same because he's a really good customer. Then I was looking for a job then out of Cardiff or something like that. And I waited a fair bit, and then I picked a job up from Newport to Birmingham. An engineer. Couldn't pick it up until 12:15, and it was about 10 when I got the job. So I had a little walk a little trundle around, got myself something to eat. Out of Newport to Birmingham, and it was to Rolls Royce, Birmingham, which I've done before, Solihull, so it was Coventry side of Birmingham. So I thought if I don't get nothing else, I can poodle home from there. It's sort of 40 miles. I got 70 quid for that one. You think Wales to Birmingham, but it's not that far. It's all motorway, M5, around a 42. Yeah, it's not that far. And it worked out about 70 pence a mile, which was okay. And then I thought, well, I ain't going to get anything else. But I thought, I'll go and park at Corley Services and sit there for half an hour to see if anything comes out of Coventry or Birmingham. But I'm just looking for a load home, really, to Northampton or somewhere around there, Rugby, Milton Keynes, somewhere close to home. And a job did pop up in Birmingham, right in the middle of Birmingham, back to Brackley, which is not far from me. It's 24 miles, 25 miles. Yeah, so I quoted on that. I've got to travel a little bit to it. I quoted 49 because I thought, well, I want that. I'm going that way anyway, or ish. And yeah, I phoned the gentleman up and got the job. It was from an electrical wholesaler. Oh, it was from like a refrigeration place in the middle of Birmingham, and I picked up some refrigeration, a canister, to go to Tesco's in Brackley, and it was to meet an engineer. It weren't actually Tesco's stores. There was an engineer there waiting for it. So got that job for 49, which made that a good day. It got me to £229 for the day, and Brackley home's 20 odd miles, so it was good. It was really good. So all in all, I did 400 miles for £229. So the miles, pence per mile, it worked out it's about 59 pence. So it weren't 60p, which is sort of the lowest you want to go, but it's what it is. I did £229. Yeah, just under 400 miles. I ain't got nothing booked in for Wednesday. And then a job popped up on the CX. It was Tuesday night. It was on there for Wednesday. Picking up 10 o'clock the next morning out of Northampton, going to Kettering on to Sheffield. 10 o'clock's a bit late for me, first pickup, but I thought, well, I'll quote on it. I'll quote 85. And I'll see. And I got the job. It was quite a complicated one, this one. In fact, it was really complicated. It sounded complicated, but it was a lot easier because I knew the areas. It was pick up Northampton General Hospital, onto Kettering General Hospital, and deliver to the hospital, Children's Hospital in Sheffield. Specific instructions, and you phoned up, and they come and brought the package. It was a new baby stuff, blood spot things to be screened. Very nice lady on the phone. And the job was good. It was a late start for me. I didn't leave my house till gone 9:30, but it was a nice, easy drive up to Sheffield. I know Northampton General Hospital. I know Kettering General Hospital really well. Whereas my wife's been in Northampton. She's been in Kettering. My mum's been in Northampton every bloody ward when she was ill a lot. Tash and where I had to pick up her in Kettering, we knew where the baby place, where everything was, because two daughters had the grandkids there, so you know where that is. So it was not too bad. It was good, and everything was that on time and picked up and met the right people, and got to Sheffield and delivered it to Sheffield. I was in Sheffield by 1. I was done. So I got 85. So it wasn't too bad. It was a bit of a mileage to get to the Northampton General Hospital. From my house, that's about 7 mile. But it was still okay. Then picked a job up from... I was parked in Sheffield. I parked in a garage right near the hospital, just down the hill. On the Chapeltown Road, there's a Texaco garage, and there's a nice car park, coffee machine, toilet. Lovely. And picked a job up from Rotherham to March. Knowing I weren't going to get a lot out of March, but I thought, well, it gets me within not too far of being home. It's just either side of Peterborough, and I might get some of that of Peterborough to Northampton later. So I quoted 77 and got the job, and it was from an engineering company. It's a big shaft going to another engineering company in March. Yeah, it was from one. It was like a shaft and a bearing, and they weren't big, but they're quite heavy. So we picked that up. Pig of a drive to March. There was a lot of road closures on the A1. We eventually come off and took a B road, and yeah, it was a bit of a pig of a journey. Took the best part of 2.5 hours, nearly 3 hours to get to March, but it was okay. I was on 162 for the day, and I didn't start till 9:30. This is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm 3:30. I'm done. Yeah, it's an easy day, nice easy day. Nothing strenuous, nothing hard work really. But I needed another job really, or something. If I get home, or a long distance job and stay out, and then I picked up. I phoned Chris, who I do a lot of work with, and he said, "Yeah, I've got a job Thursday going to Exeter, Cheltenham, Bristol, and Exeter. No Cardiff." So he says, "Pick that up. That's there for you." I went, "Brilliant." So that made my mind up for March. I just trundled back, kept the feed on, and nothing happened. There was nothing out of Peterborough. Only go to London, and I weren't interested in that. I trundled back. I went home. I got some food, had some dinner, got some petrol. Went and picked the boxes up for the next day. So I did 300 miles nearly. So I did a lot of mileage, but I had picked up the load for the next day, and I only did 8.5 hours in total. And it was an easy day driving. It weren't nothing too hard. 162 quid, works out about 57. I'm just under 60p, which is not great, but it's work. So then Thursday was, well, as everyone knows, the CX went down Thursday. First time. I started this in November 2020, and as far as I remember, I don't know the CX gone down. So we did that job. Thursday was a nightmare. I left the house early. I'd got Cheltenham as a first drop, and any horse racing people I know it's Cheltenham Festival. I'd already been warned to get in Cheltenham early, which I did. I was there at 7. I left my house at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was at Cheltenham for 7. No one was up, in, out. On my way to Bristol, and from Bristol on my way to Exeter. So I had 3 drops, and it all went smooth. I was down in Exeter 10:15. And what time did the fee go down? 10:15. In fact, I just managed to get my POD through and my invoice through to Chris, and the fee went down. And you know when you think, is it me? Have I done something? I turn my phone off, power back on, put my laptop on. Got nothing. I've got Facebook, I've got YouTube, I've got all the social internets on phone and laptop, but nothing on CX. And it wasn't until I looked at my phone, I thought, there's something not right here. And it wasn't until I looked at my phone, and then I looked and I just couldn't get nothing. I'm like, right, so what happens now? And then I said I got email from Transport Exchange, CX, telling me that they got problems and it wouldn't be back on until, I think I said 12:30. So I'm like, fantastic, I'm stuck in Exeter. So I know the shippers. I've got all the lot of shippers numbers. So I looked at all the jobs I got out of the southwest, and who'd give me the shippers were. So I phoned around. Must have phoned half a dozen shippers. Yep, I weren't the only one in the ship. Everyone was in the ship. Every shipper was telling me they ain't got no CX, they got nothing, can't post a job. But none of them had a job. There was one out of Plymouth, but it was for a large van. He says, "You got a large van, Dave?" I said, "No, I've got a small van." He said, "I've got a job desperate out of Plymouth." He says, "But it's a large van." So they went, look, I phoned about 7, 8 shippers who I knew did work out that area, but nothing. No one had got anything, and no one could do anything. It was like the whole world had come to an end. It was like, what do we do now? And it just so happened I just finished my job looking for a second job back. So I'm like, I could be stuck in Exeter. I mean, I got good money. I got 140 quid, but it's 10:15. Well, it was what then? It was 12:15. So I'd been for a walk. I come back. I just got to a supermarket. Then there was another email come through that it wasn't coming on till 1. And I thought, wow, this is going well. It's a bit of boredom. Got out and I got something to eat. Cleaned the van. Cleaned the outside of the van. Did some paperwork. And I got a phone call from Chris. Mate, he says, "Mate, I think it's just gone back on. This is at 2:20." and I was just going in Sainsbury's to use the toilet, and I checked my feed, and yeah, it started coming back on. So I went to the toilet, come back out, and I'm like, right, I need a job, or I'm going to stay in Exeter. I ain't going home. This is Thursday, and the only job that come out, there was a couple of jobs Exeter to Exeter, which didn't really rock my boat. And there's a company in Exeter that do work that it's always heavy work and it's short distances, but it's a lot of handball. And there was one job there. There was a job going down to Truro, and then a job popped up from Oakhampton to Felton onto Hounslow. And I thought, well, that's going to be good money, so let's have a little think. And it was picking up. I picked up in Oakhampton before. It's 20 miles further down, so it's a good distance. And it was to pick up some documents at Feltham, and then it was going into Heathrow Airport, into the cargo, into the area. So you got to have ID and all this. Now I'm not that keen on that, but it was a long job, and it was a fair old mileage. It was 180 miles, and I quoted 150, and got it. I think I could have got a bit more, but I got it for 150. So done that job, picked up. Again, it was only one item. It was that big. What about that? It was a spares for an aeroplane, and it was going by Lufthansa via Swiss port. Now, if any of you have been to Heathrow, I had to pick some documents up for it first at Feltham, which were left for me in a lockbox. And then I haven't ever done this part of Heathrow before, and all the airlines are there. It's in a big on Shoreham West Road. I'm sure you drivers have done it. Shoreham West, yeah. But if you do go in, there is a gate. You don't have to show ID until you actually get to your airline. I got a building number. Luckily, someone says, "Yep, it's all on the other side." Sat nav was good. Took me right there, and I just see the loading dock. I parked up, went to the guys. I went, "Got this for you guys." Felt quite confident. They went, "You got a number, mate?" I went, "No, I don't know, shipping number." He said, "No, number." He said, "You've been in the office, haven't you?" I went, "No, mate." I said, "It's the first time I've ever been here." And to be fair, they were Londoners. I expected to rip the shit out of me, but they didn't. They were really nice. And he said, "Nah, mate, you've got to do this, you've got to do." So you have to go into the office. I've only got a box like that. Go into the office, get all your paperwork sorted. Then they give you the paperwork back that you want. You have to get a number. And you go and sit in your van and you watch the neon lights, and your number comes up. And I was about third in the queue to get served, and the bloke in front of me, I remember him asking how many in the queue. He said 6 vans. I'm like, I could be here a long while, and I've done a long day. Then I went up, and it was an Asian lady, ever so nice lady, and I said, "It's the first time I've been." She said, "Well, you don't need to bring your freight in here." I said, "Well, this is all I've got." She went, "That's it." I went, "Yeah, that's it." I said, "I thought I'd carry it with me." I said, "And leave it in the van." And she did my paperwork for me. She gave me a number, but she says, "If you just go to the loading bay, number 7, door 7, walk it there, don't take your van, go to door 7, say that the office says, 'Can you just put this through?' Save you going in the van and queuing up, see what they say." They might say no, they might say yes. So I did. I took it round, number 7, and there were two guys who I've been earlier. I said, "I've got a number now." I says, "But the lady in the office says that because this is all I've got, you might just be able to take it for me." And he laughed at me. He says, "You cheeky sod." He went, "Yeah, go on, give it here." And he went, "Well, you maybe take this back anyway, mate." I went, "What's that?" And he says, "Where's the barcode?" He says, "There should be a sticker on this with a barcode." I went, "I don't know. I ain't got a barcode." This is real novicey. I says, "I don't know." Anyway, the envelope the documents were in, he actually looked in the envelope. He went, "It's in here, you Wally." And apparently you take it off and you stick it. That's why the document and the barcode are in 2 different addresses. I should have stuck it on, but all good. I stuck it on. He said, "Yeah, give it here. We'll take that for you." So I could have been there a long while because there was 5 vans waiting. They were doing one at a time. They were all biggish vans. They weren't the transits. They were long wheelbase. They weren't little vans like my puddle jumper. So, yeah, that was done. So I got a result there. I was only there probably 20 minutes in total, getting all the paperwork signed. But yeah, and then it was drive home from Felton. It's 60 odd miles, but I was driving home because I'd got a delivery Friday. Chris, who I do loads of work for, he'd phoned me up and said he liked to be home. I said, yeah, but it's going to be late. So give me this dude, brilliant bloke. He says, I'll take the boxes to your house if that's all right. I can leave them there. And I went, that's even brilliant. I said, because I'm not going to get home till 9 o'clock ish. May get home just before. He said, that's fine. He's done it a couple of times now. We've got a big 7-seater Elgrand, Nissan Elgrand, and he puts the box in the back of there for me. I come home, transfer them into my van, and I get the job done. And that's what he did. So Thursday was my best day. I did £140 going down. I had a 4 hours wait because the CX was knackered, and I did £150 back. So I got 290. But I'd done 480 miles. And the total for that, I worked out about 63p, something like that. So it was a good day. And I got an early start. I did get home, it was 10 to 9 at night. And I've been on the go since 5. So it was 16 hours. But obviously 4 hours I did nothing. So 12 hours I suppose. But I did 290 quid. So mega money for me. Then Friday I got an early start again. 5:15. So literally I had 9.25 hours. It was like being a truck driver. This was minimum hours off. And Friday I'd got Cheltenham, Cardiff, Bristol, Exeter. And I thought, I'm going to struggle to get work out of Exeter, but we'll see. And I got £192 because I've got the Cardiff extra on from, I did Cheltenham first again, down to Cardiff, Bristol, down to Exeter. Only 9 boxes in total. So there was less boxes, and I was in Exeter then. I was in Exeter about 11:30, 11:45. But the CX was pinging. Friday was, I looked at it, it was busy. I think because all the Thursday jobs got cocked up. So Friday was a busy day, and I got a job straight away, really. Exeter to Chepstow. And I thought, that's great. That'll get me up to near Bristol, and then I'll get a job. I know there's a couple of jobs in Bristol, go to London, and I thought I might as well make a real long day of it. And I did in the end, but not because of work. And I picked the job up out of Exeter. It was for plumbers, transfer of stock from one plumber from the same company, from Bristol to Chepstow. It was a very small item. Again, it was a box like that, but they needed it. I quoted 65 quid for 90 miles, which got me up to Chepstow. Very slowly. Very slowly. Got on the M5. All of a sudden, Google. I've got 2 sat navs. One that's telling me it's going to take me 90 minutes, and one that's telling me it's 2 hours 15. What? There was an accident on the M5. A bad accident. And it was there was one side, one the other. And we'd gone past the turning where you can't, there's nowhere to go. If you're going to hit Chepstow, you're still on the fastest route. It told me to start with, I got a 47-minute delay. By the end of it, it was 2 hours. We come to a grinding halt, and we turned our engines off, and we sat there for the best part of 2 hours. Nothing coming down the M5 south, and we weren't going north. So, oof. I phoned the shipper up straight away. He was okay with it. Oh, I'm just grabbing my tea. He realised what the problem was. Oh, nice cup of tea. Yeah, he realised what the problem was. And literally, couldn't do nothing. You can't do nothing. You can't pick the bloody van up, move it. So, you're stuffed. So, I just sat there. I just thought, sod it. I can't do nothing about it. Just sit here. But I knew I wouldn't get these 2 jobs out of Bristol because it was going to be too late, and it sure was. When we got moving, even then it was really slow. And when we got to where the accident was, I don't know whether you guys get this. I'm not morbid, but you'd like to see what's happened. Is there been a multiple car? There's nothing. All there was 3 traffic office vans just clearing the rest of the debris. But you could see, obviously there'd been carnage, because when we sat there, and ambulances and fire engines and everything had gone by. So, I hope everyone was alright. It's one of them things. But it buggered the rest of the day up. Because I got to Chepstow 4:15, 4 o'clock. Not 4 o'clock. 4:45. and there was nothing going where I wanted to go home. There was one job which I missed, but the jobs out of Bristol had gone or been cancelled. So that was Thursday. That was Friday, knackered really. So I thought I'm just going to drive home. I'm over my £1,000 for the week because I've got 65 on that and 192, 257, and I thought that took me 40 quid over a grand. I thought I'll take the dead mileage. It was 110 dead mileage home. I cut that off a bit for the A46, and even then I got stuck in traffic. So Friday became a bloody traffic nightmare. Then I got a phone call from Chris saying, I've got a load for you, mate, for Monday. Are you going to pop in? I said, yep. He said it's Cheltenham and Bristol. I went, yeah, that's fine. I'll come and get it on the way home. And then he phoned me later while I was nearly getting home saying, oh, they've stuck a Cardiff on it as well. I went, yeah, don't worry, that's fine. So I've got my load for Monday. So Friday was an absolute shocker for dead miles. I did 116 dead miles to get home, which is no good for you. No good for your money. It worked out 54 pence. So I was running for all day, but for 257 quid, I did 470 miles, but 120 odd miles dead. So not brilliant. That's the trouble if you go long distance on a Friday and you want to get home. I don't normally do Exeter, but because I could be in Exeter for 10. I thought I would get a job, and I would have done normally. That job to Chepstow would have got me in Chepstow for half past 12, and I would have picked a Bristol to Birmingham or somewhere around there. I would have got home. So it's just the traffic that caused that. So still a good week, you look over it. My figures, I did 1,857 miles over the week, which is a lot. I did £1,043 gross, obviously. I did 58 hours. I say I did 58 hours, that's from when I start to when I get home. I did have 4 hours of inactivity on Thursday and 2 hours on Friday, so it takes 6 hours, about 52 hours. It's about, 11 hours a day. So it's not brilliant, but it's what it is, If I'd have got another job on Friday, when we got stuck for 2 hours in traffic, or I'd have got an earlier job on Thursday instead of 4 hours of CX fucking tits up, been good. But it didn't. So it's good with the bad. I hit my target, that's the main thing. £1,000, hit it with £40 over. I'm sure I could have had more, but Thursday and Friday were two really long days. My average was 56p because of the dead mileage at the end. I was on for target for 60, over 60, 63p, and that's my sort of lowest, but because of Friday, but that buggered it up. But hey, that's what happens. I'm doing 5 days next week, hopefully. I've got a great start Monday. Monday's normally on my not as good start, but I've got a good start Monday because I've got Cheltenham, Bristol, Cardiff, or Cheltenham, Cardiff, Bristol. I'll be in Bristol because I can deliver Cheltenham before 7. I'll be in Cardiff for half past 8. That means I'll be in Bristol for about 10 o'clock. So I'll definitely get a good load out of there, and it gets me going. Let's have a look. Yeah, gets me going. The job I did is what the job I did on Wednesday. The hospital jobs. It was easy because once you've done it once, it's really nice. The lady phoned me up to see if I could do it Friday. I said I can't because I booked some. I said I'm booked something in. I said really sorry, I can't do it. I'm booked something in. I said I appreciate you phoning me. She says yeah. She says there's so much information with it. She says and you picked it up straight away. She says and did it great. I text her every time I picked up from the hospital. Text her. Got the Northampton one. Moved to Kettering. Got that one. She was really happy. Communication. And it was an important job, as in, for new babies, it was blood test things. And I got to Sheffield, and I got 10 minutes to get it signed and in my van and away, because that's the maximum waiting time with an ANRP. And it takes you about 5 minutes if you don't have any hold-ups. And I did it, and it was, I've done these sort of jobs before, hospitals, and I found the place straight away. She had great information. She said, well, that job is every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you're available, if you can let me know the night before you haven't got a job, just text me and I'll send it over to you, she says, before I put it on the CX. So potentially I've got 3 days where £85 for 100 and 108 miles, 110 miles, so it's good. It's just it's a 10 o'clock pickup from Northampton. You can get there about 10 to 10. So it's also quite a nice lay in, but you need to get some out of Sheffield back, which I did. I got back to March. So, yeah, it's something that's she's going to put it on CX the jobs. She says, but she's everything went smoothly. She said, and she said that's a regular job now. So, if I haven't got anything with Chris and there's nothing early, I may be able to get work, especially Mondays, and I would have done it this Monday, this next coming up. But I've got a job, which is an earlier start, so I took that first. So that's the week. A really good week. It seemed hard this week, so because I had a poor Monday. £100 Monday's rubbish. You're on the back foot to get your target. I like to do my long days early in the week and just taper off to the weekend and then enjoy my weekend. Today I've cleaned the van. Van's been cleaned. It was filthy. I've been doing jobs. I normally do my shopping in the week. We've done shopping this morning, checking all the levels on the van. Get my fishing kit. I'm going fishing tomorrow. First time this year. Looking forward to that because the weather's changed dramatically. So we're off fishing Castle Ashby. See if we can get some carp. Put all the kit in the. I've got a 7-seater Elran. I'm using that. Wife's at work, so all day fishing tomorrow. Hope we catch some. Thought about going on the bike today. We just run out of time and the rugby started now, and we love the rugby, so we should be rugbying. But pretty much that's it. I've been watching videos. I hope you got over your COVID, Jim, from Lincolnshire. Neil, get that home brew on. Save me some of that. If I love my home brew. I've just bought some Tribute Ale from Cornwall. Gonna have that tonight. We're going around our neighbours for a meal, so that'll be good. But if you want to save me some of your own brew, Neil, I shall be up there as quick as. Do like a bit of real ale. You even come down to London. I see your video, Neil. I should have commented on it. I just haven't had time. I did make me smile. I'm going down to London. You went to Uxbridge. It's not even in London. You didn't even touch the outsides of London, Neil. You were just on the outskirts. We'll get you a London job. Get you right in the centre. Yeah. Get you a London Bridge. Yeah. All the narrow streets you tell me about in Uxbridge. I did have a chuckle now. Yeah. Loving your videos, mate. Loving your videos. I watched the Manc Courier. Mate, you just got such a positive attitude. Keep the positive attitude. Any negatives, just bin them, mate. Bin them. There's too much negatives. You're a young man. You got a van. You're wanting to work. You'll be fine. Manchester's a really good area. I haven't been there for a while, but it's a really good area. Yeah, it did make me smile. I haven't seen anything from Toolman Small Van. Hoping you're alright, mate. Hope you're doing well. I do watch all the videos. Andy P, I see you put on there just before I did that the app was down. I see you subscribed, mate. Yeah, I watch your videos. Yep, knowledgeable. Yep, it's nice to have a few people to bounce things off as well. I'm sure we should have a WhatsApp group, with all our numbers on. And then we can, if anyone's got any aggro, you can share, because sharing any problems, it may help other people. Someone may have an idea on how it works. I've just got all my yearly figures back from my accountant, which I'm going over next week. I'm off a week on Monday, so I'll be chatting with them. I haven't even looked at them yet, but it seems all okay. Yeah. Fuel prices don't get me started, because I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. But they're just mad. Yeah, it's getting a bit serious now. Although my fuel next week has come down from the dramatic levels they put them up, they've put them down slightly. But they had to, because I haven't used them. I've used my debit card because Morrison's, Tesco and Asda have been cheaper than my fuel cards. And if they want me to use fuel cards, they're going to have to give me a discount. So I'm just going to use my own debit card. Simple as. So, hope you're all doing alright. The weather's getting better. It's going to be a really nice week next week. We could be tramping next week. But it's really nice. The weather's getting better next week. It's lighter in the morning. I mean, it's light. I've been out early this week and it's been light. 6 o'clock it's been light. And it's staying light till later. I delivered that Heathrow one on Thursday. And when I picked up in Feltham, I got there at 6:15 and it was still light enough for me to pick the paperwork up. Find it where they'd hidden it. So, hopefully we're going to do better. Anyway, hope you have a good rest of the weekend. I'm off to watch the rugby, have a few tribute ales, and then I'm fishing tomorrow, and then I'm out early Monday. Hope you're doing well. Cheers.